Sub here, and want to talk a little bit about the new Ricochet anti-cheat blog post that just dropped. And I want to look at it in terms of why it's going to fail and why Ricochet is a failure and will always be a failure until one thing changes. And we're going to talk about what that thing is and how to fix it so that we have a great anti-cheat. Because believe it or not, from the cheat providers themselves, Ricochet is in fact a good anti-cheat. It has one problem, one point of failure that dooms it for all time and has doomed it from day one and will doom it until they fix this. Let's figure out what that is. So here's the blog post. Ricochet anti-cheat December 2024. They're outlining updates to the anti-cheat system. And they say since it released in October, they had a lot of updates, and they say it worked pretty well. After a series of updates, our systems are in better place today across all modes. However, we did not hit the mark for the integration of Ricochet anti-cheat in the launch of Season 1, particularly in ranked play. No kidding. We understand the promise of glory, notoriety, and ranked play leaderboards make ranked play an attractive target for cheaters, just like every other mode in this game. And so they're effectively focused on, or especially focused on, turning the tide to deliver the competitive arena our players seek, and they're going to fail. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. Here's what they've done: upgrades and accounts. Account bans are now happening hourly due to increased velocity from several Ricochet anti-cheat systems. Hourly is better than quarterly or monthly. Let's get rid of ban waves and just ban the accounts as they play. I think that's a good move. Not going to matter as much as you think it will. Leaderboards, they've cleaned up the leaderboards. Great, get them out. Investigations. This is interesting. We've significantly expanded our replay investigation render farm, i.e. they actually bought servers to do it, which is great. At least they're going to spend money on servers somewhere. And the machines used to generate clips for examination. We've also ramped up the group dedicated to manually reviewing clips. You mean hiring people to look at people spin botting and saying, oh, that guy's probably cheating, might be beneficial? W. Only a little W, though. Not uppercase W, like lowercase w, because they should have done that a long time ago instead of trying to rely on AI, which, look, I can tell you from experience working in the field, AI is not there. Not like we think it is. And they're going to really continue to train AI, whatever. Our focus on ramping up speed and enforcement when cheaters do make it through our initial checks, which is all of them all the time. Getting rid of back, whatever. AI is not going to win the battle here. Looking forward, the team is developing major updates for Ricochet anti-cheat systems, including our kernel level driver and brand new server side protections launching in Season 2 and Season 3. So in other words, they don't expect to have a significant handle on things until Season 3. And probably not until Reloaded, let's be honest. This is probably unacceptable, to be honest. This should have been done 2 years ago. But none of the changes they make will probably matter because of the inherent flaw in the system. And we're still going to get to that in a minute. As we continue our fight, now here's actually something they do say that's useful. As we continue our effort, a reminder that there are steps you can take to partner with us in the fight against cheaters, including ensuring your account has two-factor authentication enabled. Or call it two-factor authentication, call it multi-factor authentication, whatever you want to do it. You should have that on every account, on everything important in your life. Period. End of story. That's not negotiable. If you don't want to lose access to your bank account or your email or your Call of Duty account or whatever it is, it should be MFA'd. All right. If you're not doing that, you're being lazy and you're going to get ripped off at some point. All right. Get to it. Get it on there. It's 2024. All right. We are well past the point of computer literacy in which we should be running around without two-factor authentication turned on everything important. And report players. Yeah. Okay, cool. How about fix shadow bans too? Let's do that. Ricochet anti-cheat will be continuing its work to fight cheaters throughout the remainder of the month. Blah, blah, blah. It's not going to matter. None of this will matter. And I'm going to tell you why none of this will matter from their own words. Here is Ricochet anti-cheat's initiative, the updated version of what the Q&A they gave us when they first announced this back before Caldera, right? I think this was the end of Verdansk. They announced they were doing this. They do a PC kernel level driver for their anti-cheat. Why does it not feel like it does anything? And I'll tell you why. They tell us why. Is the kernel level driver in Ricochet anti-cheat always on, even when I'm not playing a game using Ricochet anti-cheat? No. That's the wrong answer. This is not the correct answer. The answer should be yes. They say, no, Ricochet anti-cheat kernel level driver will only operate when you play a game using Ricochet anti-cheat on PC. The driver shuts down when you exit the game and turns on when you start a new game. Why do you think it doesn't stop anybody? Why do you think it doesn't work? Because you turn it off. Stop turning it off. The only way to stop cheaters is to always have it on. Stop it. The biggest problem with Ricochet is you turn it off. And that lets the cheaters create masking software that hides the cheats from the anti-cheat. So the anti-cheat goes in, looks for cheats, and the cheat software is already there and says, hey, I'm not here. There's nothing to see here. These aren't the cheats you're looking for. And like a stormtrooper, Ricochet goes, oh, okay, move along, and then misses all the cheaters. We are past the point in 2024, going into 2025, that an anti-cheat has any business turning off in this world. If you want to play this game, it should force reboot the computer, and the first thing that should load after your BIOS starts up is Ricochet. And frankly, it should start there. It should load at the start of BIOS, like the minute power hits your motherboard, it should load. But it doesn't. And because it doesn't, the cheats will always win. The only solution to the cheating problem in Call of Duty is to turn on the anti-cheat all the time. Always on, or don't bother.